If glitter freaks you out, you have to try glitter cardstock. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm going to use some really funky Luxe glitter cardstock from Simon Says Stamp to make a beautiful and simple card. So if you don't like getting it on your fingers, and who does really? Stick around. My card project with cardstock glitter coming up next. Here's a look at some of the supplies I'll be using to create today's card, which is in essence going to be very simple, but I have had this Luxe glitter, I mean, look at this, for a while. It's been sitting in here and I have not used this yet. So I wanted to show you, if you haven't seen it, it is a very chunky cardstock with glitter. Maybe that makes sense. Let's zoom in a little. You have to see the texture on this. It's kind of wild, and I hope the camera will show it, but it is a very chunky but smooth, right? This is cardstock. So you're getting it here in the silver and the black. And I am going to die cut with this today and see what shakes out. I have Luxe glitter. I have this beautiful Winsome Branch. I have a little white cardstock, and then I'm probably just going to top it with one of my new basic trio greetings. It says we've got hello, hugs, and thanks. They're a smaller size, so they're kind of nice. You can glue them and stack for some dimension, and that's what I'm going to use for my greetings. So let's get started with die cutting. I'm going to cut this cardstock close just so I can put this back and save it. And we'll go ahead and cut it out. Now, I might have to use a shim. I have this shim for my Gemini Junior, and I'm just gonna put this on the cutting side, because in my plate sandwich, I always cut into the same plate anyway. And let's see here, I'm just gonna put a little tape to hold that in place, and then I will grab my top plate here, and let's go to the Gemini cam. All right, and we'll run it through. Actually, I'm going to flip it so it's blade up. All right. It's coming. All right, let's make sure that cut through. We're going to lift this up, and I guess we're going to find out. Oh, there we go. Can you see the cut lines back there? Oh, yep, that cut. So let me grab my little foam pad so I can poke this out. I'm gonna grab my Gina K pick and stick tool. And you know, sometimes if with something like this, you're like, where's the pattern? I think it can be easier to go from the back like this, right? Because then you can see that branch. And the shim really did help. If you don't have a metal shim and you're trying out a thick cardstock like this, you can always just put another layer of cardstock in to tighten that grip or pressure. I guess it's not really a grip, is it? All right, we're poking this out. It's coming. It's coming. Come on now. And I think we are about to release into the beauty of, and look, only a couple tiny pieces of that glitter came off the cardstock, but look at that leaf. What? And it's not coming off, okay? Glitter cardstock. For those who are glitter phobic, this is your friend if you want some shine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this white panel and cut another piece out, and then we will move on. So I've got a piece of dull pink cardstock, and you can see how nicely this is going to fit here. I'm probably going to layer these together just a little offset for some interest on the card. And as you can see, which you see it more in the white, this really does have, oh, come here now, a nice little emboss, or not emboss. Yeah, it's kind of a, it adds detail. All right, we're gonna move this aside. But what I want to do is I want to add a little depth to my panel. And I swear ever since I discovered ink blending onto colored cardstock, I feel like the world has changed. So I'm going to use a little bit of rose, because this is actually, oh, careful now, this is actually a nice color that's going to be a little darker. And all I'm going to do is just come in from the edge. on the panel, like that. We're just adding a little depth. And the nice thing too, about this is that it really does dry back beautifully. So it will just be, you know, it's a little tone on tone. And this rose color is very nice on the doll pink. Well, that's all we're doing to add a little depth to the panel. Usually my mat is so clean right now that things aren't sticking as well as they usually do. This is a new work surface for me. I actually just got this glass board mat, and I also have a white one on the way because I'm not sure I have enough space for 2 boards on my table where I work now, and I don't know which one I'm going to go with in the long term. I don't know which one I will like better for video. So I'll definitely ask you all who are watching to tell me in the future. But for now, that's all we're doing. We're just going to keep this panel with a little depth on the outside so that when I put these things on, that just has a little bit of a glow to it. So let me move on now to a little bit more die cutting of the greetings. I'm going to take this little scrap and go ahead and die cut 3 hugs out of the leftover cardstock so that I can have a little dimension on my greeting. All right, and again, we'll just pick that up, pop that out, and I'll go ahead and do 2 more. I'm going to take a little Elmer's Craft Bond here and just add a tiny bit of spray adhesive to the backs of these 2 die cuts. And then what I can do is pick them up. Come here now. With my, what I call my gross tweezers. I just keep ones for gluey things. I do clean them every now and then, but it just helps me to quickly line up and get that into place. There's a little tiny bit of wiggle room, not much, you know, so you gotta commit, but it really does hold beautifully, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Oh, I do hold my breath though. Here, let's get you lined up here. All right, get in here like that. Okay, press. Let that adhere. I'm going to get the note card prepped and we'll finish out this card. Actually, I figured I'd show you. I'm going to add my 3 strips of foam tape here on the back. Sometimes if you have warping, you can use more, but I don't have any warping here because the only thing I did was a tiny bit of ink blending. So, and this is the Altenew foam tape. I have a big roll of this and I really like it. All right, so now let's get our note card prepared. All right, this will be a US A2, so this is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and we will score right at 5 1/2. Nice score line. Okay, that out of the way. I'm going to fold this down and give it a nice press with my Teflon bone folder. I'm going to tape my note card closed so that it does not pop open. And we'll go ahead and get that done like that. Okay. It also helps when I go to photograph my cards after they're done to keep it like that. So I'm going to take my ink blended panel, pop this onto this beautiful crisp white note card. And let's see if I can do this without standing. Well, we'll line you up at the top like that. Oh yeah, that looks really good. See how the ink blending, it just adds a little depth. And again, it just kind of smooths out as it dries. And now all I'm going to do is glue these 2 on to the piece like that with just a little offset. So simple. And I am going to use spray glue again because of all the little details there. I don't want the liquid to seep through, so I'm going to do this just off camera in the same box. Then I'll just bring that in here and just drop it down. I mean, even this in and of itself would be very pretty, but the point here is to add that little bit of shine. So let me go add the spray to the back of this. And all we're gonna do is just offset it a little bit like that. Very, very simple. Like that. So now you have this branchy branch, right? That's just got this gorgeous shine. I think that's really fun. And then we're going to add our greeting right here. So let's just do that actually. You know what though? I might need to do a little bit of foam tape here so that there's a bit of a float. Unless I go here, let me get some liquid glue for this friend, because the liquid glue will just give me a little bit more wiggle room, and the liquid glue can also really settle in nicely over some dimension. I actually think this would make a very nice sympathy card, right? And just pop that down. I'm going to wipe away some of the glue that seeps out, and I'm going to press this down with my brick, but I want to make sure it's straight before I commit. Oh, that looks pretty good. And press. So you got to press to really let that liquid glue adhere. Take that off like that. And now what you have is this gorgeous bit of shimmer, right? And dimension on this card, but of course none of that is going to come out and get on your fingers or do anything that you don't want glitter to do. I'm going to finish this card off with a prismatic sequin that actually has a lot of the tones that you see in the glitter cardstock. This calls for Confetti, and it is actually called Prism. I'll just do 5 sequins. So we'll just put a little glue there, and boop, lost that one. Boop. It looks boop, less prismatic-y where the light is hitting it now, but boop, you'll see. Boop, like that. Just little 5 scattered there at the bottom. And actually, let me get this wiped off really well because I've got some glue building up here. And pop in the pin. And now you can see it has this really nice tonal similarity to the glitter cardstock. Oh, there's a sequin on there. Get out of there. Hold on. There you go. Okay. And that is what it looks like as a finished card. For those of you who want to try out the shine without the mess of traditional glitter, be sure to check out the Luxe Glitter Cardstock. I have all the links that I used in today's video in the YouTube description box for your shopping convenience. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my channel, so be sure to subscribe, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. To see a few other projects where I got brave and added a lot of shine, I've got 2 thumbnails queued up for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.